All right, we're going to be looking today at the angle of depression and the angle of elevation. Our angle of depression. Say I got a little guy right here, and this would be normally if I'm looking straight here. My angle of depression would be the angle at which I'm looking down. This is my angle of depression. It has to do with looking down. So if that's has to do with looking down, it makes sense then that the angle of elevation means that we're going to be looking up. So angle of elevation is looking up. We can use this information then to help us figure out some problems. And also my first one I have here says a great white shark swims 22 feet below sea level. If the shark is 67 feet from the sailboat, what is the angle of depression to the boat? So here, this would be my situation. Here's my boat here, and if I got a great white shark that close to my boat, I might be just leaving in the first place because I don't want it to come bite me. But here I have the opposite. This is my opposite. And then I have my hypotenuse, because this is my right angle. Since I have an opposite and a hypotenuse, this is going to be sine. So I have the sine of x degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, 67.7. I need to undo this, so I'm going to do the inverse sine. So I'm going to have my x degrees is equal to inverse sine of 22 over 67.7. So I need to go now and grab my handy-dandy calculator. There he is. Turn it on. Turn it on. Turn it on. Oh, come on, calculator. Hey, there we go. Calculator's on. First thing you always want to do is make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Mine is in degree mode. So then I'm going to put in here inverse sine, so that's second sine of 22 divided by 67.7. Enter. So I see then that x degrees, my x is 18.96 degrees. So the angle of depression from the boat to the shark is 18.96, or basically 19 degrees.
So if it's
Looking at another example for this, we have a person is standing 30 meters from a traffic light. If the angle of elevation from the person's feet to the top of the traffic light is 25 degrees, which that's important that they say the feet, because if they would have said the eyes, then we'd have to put how tall the person is. So the feet to the top of the light is 25 degrees, and that person is 30 meters away, so we want to know how high off the ground is the traffic light. And this is something you could actually go and do by measuring them out in the real world. You could go and check and see how high something is by doing this particular thing here. So this one right here, here's my angle. This is my opposite, this is my adjacent. If I have opposite and adjacent, this is going to be then the tangent of 25 degrees is equal to x over 30. So I'll multiply both sides by 30.
wait.
So we're going to multiply both sides by 30 here. So I put a 30 over here and a 30 here. These two 30s cancel each other out. So I now have 30 times the tangent of 25 is equal to my x. That tells me how high the traffic light is. I grab so my calculator comes up here and I put in 30. 30 tangent 25. I press enter and I see that x is equal to 13.99 feet. Here's 13. Oh, these aren't feet, these are meters. Those metric people came and got us again. Meters. That gets a little M right there. So our traffic light is 13.9, or basically 14 meters above the ground. And looking at another example we have here. In this example here, it says, from the top of a fence, a person sights a lion on the ground at an angle of depression of 24 degrees. If the man on the fence is 4.2 meters high, how far is the man from the lion? Oh, so we got to think about what we got right here. So here's my right triangle. There's the right angle. So we know that this is 4.2 meters. I know that this angle right here is 24 degrees. So I also know that I could take and draw this thing like this and make it into a rectangle. So that means this over here is 4.2 as well. So that means that I have the opposite and my hypotenuse. If we're looking at a, no, the x is the hypotenuse, the 24 is our angle, and this is my opposite side, so this is my opposite side. So I got opposite and hypotenuse, so this is going to be the sine of 24 degrees is equal to 4.2, the opposite side, over the hypotenuse. So our goal is to find the x. So technically what we have to do is to go through and multiply both sides by x to start with. X and x. These x's cancel each other out. So I now have x sine 24 is equal to 4.2. Then I would divide both sides by the sine of 42. Sine of 24. Sine of 24. Sine of 24. So that's what we're going to punch in our handy-dandy calculator, is this piece right here. 4.2 divided by sine of 24. So I grab my little calculator here. Let's move him over so we can see what's going on. So I go in here and punch in 4 and 2/10, 4.2, divided by the sine of 24. I press enter, and I get that it is 10.33 meters. So straight from the person to the lion in a straight line would be 10.33 meters, which means the person's probably going to be lunch. So angle of elevation and angle of depression. So always pay attention to what you're doing, read the questions carefully, and no matter what you do, always good luck.
I will keep on